Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Phil Burnell, but I go on YouTube and across the internet, better known as Darkside Phil. And the reason that I'm making this video, I'm actually live streaming this on Twitch, I'm recording this for YouTube, is for many different reasons. What I want to do is for you, if you're a newcomer, if you don't know the history of myself, to very, very briefly give you a snippet of that and summarize so you know who I am and where I'm coming from. I want to talk about things that happened in 2013, and I want to tell you about my changes and new direction coming in 2014 because there's a lot of stuff going on right now that I'm excited about. And this is the first stream and the first video that I'm making of 2014, and I said to myself, gee, what a good opportunity for me to reflect and to announce about the future. And to basically, I'm going to make this my featured video on my gaming channel, DSPGaming, for the foreseeable future, so that newcomers know exactly what's going on and what to expect, so that people also who obviously have followed me all along know what's coming in the future. Because I've got some great stuff coming up. I've got a huge announcement regarding a giveaway. I've got multiple major announcements in this video, so I thank you for joining me tonight, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube. All right, so here's the deal. My name is Phil Burnett. And I'm a longtime gamer. I loved being a gamer. My whole life I grew up with video games, playing the classic consoles like the NES, the Super NES, the Genesis, moving into the PlayStation era, the Dreamcast era. And then I became a competitive fighting game player, actually 2 different times. First in the early 2000s with games like Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. And then later on kind of almost reinventing myself in the competitive fighting game community when I actually became really good at Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. But that, quite honestly, is in the past. That's a past chapter of my life. I still play fighting games. I just don't play them competitively, but I enjoy them. All right? So, back in 2007, unfortunately, I had a full-time job for years, desk job, 9-to-5 job, great job, by the way. Had this job, and then when I unfortunately started getting back pain. And I said, oh shit, what's going on? Went to the doctor, got diagnosed. I had a severely herniated disc in my lower back. All right. Now, it's no surprise to anyone if you've followed my content these years. You know, I live alone. You know, for me to do something to repair this disc would be extremely risky. At the time, back in 2007, the only real methods they had were like rehab, where you would do physical therapy, getting injections into your back, which were very expensive, or getting surgery, which may not even work. I knew a particular person who had the surgery and it changed their life completely, and they're better. I know a person who got this surgery and they're actually worse. So it's like a 50-50 chance. You have no idea what to do. So I chose to take a different road, and I said, I'm just going to adjust my life. And I'm going to stop doing the physical things like lifting heavy things, playing sports, physical activity, driving for long periods on the highway, etc. Things that would put me at physical risk of either injuring myself further or others because of this back injury. And what I decided to do in 2007 was to get back into gaming. I had been playing competitive Street Fighter for so long that I lost focus on the fact that I just wanted to enjoy games again. And so in 2007, I bought the Xbox. I had an Xbox 360 already. I bought a PS3. I started playing all the major releases, and I absolutely loved playing video games again. It was like a reimagining, a reinvention of myself. Wow, I'm back. You know, this hobby I used to do and then I went away while I played competitive Street Fighter is back. In late 2008, I was playing a game, and I was stuck at a certain part. I wanted to know, how do I get past this part? And I went on YouTube thinking, gee, people upload videos of games on here. Maybe there's someone who beat this. And someone had, but the person who had done it had no commentary on the video. It was just raw gameplay of this game. It didn't explain what was going on. It didn't explain the strategy that the person was using. It basically wasn't entertaining at all, and it really wasn't that informative because I didn't understand, gee, wow, he just ran through that boss when I wasn't able to, but what techniques did he use? And I didn't like that. And I said, you know what? Well, for a year now, I've been back into gaming, and I've got this little digital camera over here that I've always had and I've never really used for anything. I'm going to record myself playing games just for the hell of it. It wasn't anything that I had ever intended was going to make any kind of popularity, blow up, or get anyone's attention. I just did it for the hell of it, for fun's sake. And let me tell you, a little side camera, it wasn't a widescreen camera, so it was on the side of my TV. My TV was skewed, the angle, the video quality was awful, and it was me basically playing games, dicking around, not being serious, not editing out every part of the game where I failed. In fact, a lot of people said my videos, those portions where I fail, are the best parts of my videos because sometimes I rage, sometimes it's hilarious to see me fail. I can understand the appeal of that, but it's not me legitimately doing it to make you laugh. I just aren't very good at a lot of games, let's be honest. I didn't play games for a large span, and me getting back into games, I was just dicking around with them. And a lot of people who watched these videos back in 2008 said that it felt like you were a person sitting right here on the couch next to me, and that you really enjoyed watching that kind of style of video. And since 2008, that's been my philosophy. Whenever you come to my content, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube, you're going to see a guy, an average guy, a common guy, who is not an expert at anything, really anything anymore. I mean, I might say I have some expertise in Street Fighter, but by no means am I a pro-level player anymore. But you're going to get to see someone who has a good sense of humor, who likes to crack jokes, but also likes to kind of rage a lot and blame certain things. You'll find a lot of the times in the videos that I'll fail and I'll yell at the game developers and this and that, but I do it for comedy's sake. And I think a lot of people understand that. These days, a lot of people don't, and they try to flip it and say that I'm some kind of an asshole who's legitimately hates game developers and stuff. And that's not the case, but that's because they're only doing it to be negative assholes, and they don't actually understand the perspective that I'm coming from, all right? So since 2008, it's always been my philosophy that when you watch my video, it's like you're sitting on the couch next to me watching me play a game, whether it's I'm succeeding and having fun, whether I'm cracking a funny joke, whether I'm failing. That's what my content has been about. So I made that content as a hobby. From late 2008 until the end, actually early 2011, it was always a hobby for me. During that period of time, I actually made another channel on YouTube that was just for vlogging style stuff. If I went on a vacation, I would make videos on my vacation and put it there. I had series on there, like Cooking with the King, where I would actually just really stupidly make a bad meal, but it was funny and it was something quick that if you actually watch and learn how to make a quick meal, and that it was just, you know, something that you learned, well, what the hell? You got entertainment value out of it. It was cool. So everything was great. Until late 2010, when my full-time job of 5 years blindsided me and laid me off. Now, I got to give you some perspective for those of you who are not longtime fans and viewers. At the time, I had just purchased a condo. I'd only been in it for a year, this condo that I'm living in right now. So I had a big mortgage payment. I had a car payment. I had all this debt and stuff that I was trying to pay off through this job, and they just, at the drop of a hat, laid me off. And by the way, it wasn't like anything that people knew was coming. Months before that, just 3 months before that, I had a recommendation, a award for going above and beyond at this job from the management of the company, signed off by the vice president. 3 months later, they lay me off. So it completely blindsided me. I didn't have anything to fall back on. And at the time, I did look at the job market in Connecticut where I live. It was terrible, and to be honest, it's still terrible. There's nothing in the industry available for jobs. In fact, the industry that I was working in has downscaled and might even go out of business and or leave the state completely. For what I was doing for work for 5 years, there were no jobs to go to. So I made a daring move in late 2010. I said, I'm going to try to take this hobby, which I never expected to amount to anything. I'm going to try to flip it into some way to support myself. Now, at that time, you couldn't even monetize gaming videos. So I was actually trying to monetize all the videos that I put on my vlogging channel and supplement that with videos with no ads on them on my gaming channel. Unfortunately, through many trials and tribulations, getting kicked out of one program, put into another, kicked out of that one, I finally landed here on my channel, DSPGaming on YouTube, through the grace of a company called Machinima, who decided to put me under their wing as a partnered channel. What that means is that I make content, you guys watch the content, and based off of a certain amount of views, I make money. In addition to that, Machinima puts ads on the videos, and they make ad revenue off of the ads on the videos, okay? So I don't make any money on ads anymore, and that's no pressure on me. I just have to put out videos and get people to watch them, put out entertaining content, all right? So in 2010 and 2011, things were great. My views were booming. I was the biggest underdog. Everyone was like, wow, Phil, a real true underdog story. Someone who's just doing this for fun, who's a legitimate gamer. He cares about the games. He's not doing this for money. His job kicked him in the ass out of nowhere. We stuck up for him, and for 2010 and 2011, things were absolutely great. In 2012, I started to see a decline in views. And I honestly, a lot of the times, wanted to know what was going on, because if I'm putting out the same content and all of a sudden views are dwindling, I want to know why. Right? I mean, previous to that, people might have said, well, Phil, you never mention views. That is true. But previous to that, it wasn't my living either. This is my job now, is to entertain you And in turn, your view allows me to do this for a living. So it goes hand in hand. But I think a lot of people in 2012 took the fact that I was mentioning views a lot as a big negative and said, wow, he only cares about the money. He's only doing it for views. And I'll be honest with you, views are always going to be a factor. Things have changed. It's not 2008 or 2010 anymore. This is my job. And from now on until the day that I stop doing this, unless I hit the lotto or unless I start another business that is the way that I get my primary income, all right, this could just be a supplementary thing, I'm going to have to be concerned about views. It goes hand in hand. And there are a lot of other YouTubers out there who have bajillions of views and they never mention them. That's probably because they have bajillions of views. You know what I mean? I'm the guy who always did it his way. No, I'm not the YouTuber who edits his videos and edits out all the fails and makes a perfect run playthrough. And people say that, oh, well, Phil, what Phil does is easy to do because, you know, it doesn't take effort to just play through a game. People can say whatever they want, but I've stayed true to my original philosophy and my content throughout the years. But in 2012, I saw a decline, which then led to last year, 2013. And now here's what I want to catch up to the point of my video. In 2013, I actually made some changes to my content based off of direct fan feedback, all right, but also based off of some things that scared me. And I'll be honest with everyone, at the end of 2012, here's what happened. Machinima contacted me and said, Phil, we've had a great 2-year run. Thanks a lot for, putting out all this great content for us and obviously promoting us. But we got to renegotiate how much money you're making because basically we're not making a lot of money on ads anymore. YouTube has changed and no one's making as much money as they used to on ads. So we can't pay as much as you used to be making. And I was like, oh, shit. It was kind of, again, it was a very similar situation to when I got laid off in 2010 because I had thought that this was going to be like this, this cash cow and how long are you going to ride this wave of positivity? And it kind of ended then because I was like, wow, at any time, any company, not just Machinima, but anyone who I'm partnered with can just renegotiate my contract or just say it's all over. We're not making enough ad revenue anymore. Goodbye. So for me, it scared me because I had major plans for 2013. Number one, I wanted to move out of Connecticut because Connecticut is too expensive for me to live in. All right? There's no benefits for me to be here anymore. I want to move to a cheaper state. I can do what I do in anywhere. So I wanted to move to a cheaper state. Number two, I wanted to get my back fixed because my back has been a major pain in my ass. It limits my mobility. It limits my ability to do things. And I want to feel healthy again. And I'll be honest, since 2007, I feel like a cripple. And I know I don't mean that as I know I'm not crippled, and I know I'm extremely fortunate because I've been able to manage my pain, and I haven't re-injured my back or anything like that, but I'm hindered in what I'm doing a lot, and I want to be healthy again. But I can't do either of those things because I thought, uh-oh, I just took a major pay cut. What happens if next year I get another major pay cut, and now I can't afford to move? So 2013 was a very scary year for me, I'll be honest. This year, 2014 is going to be better, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment. But 2013 was a scary year for me. There's no jobs in Connecticut for me to fall back on in the job sector that I have history in, and I still have bills to pay, and I had all these plans for the future. Things were going hunky-dory for 2 straight years, and all of a sudden it was like a reality shock. Wow, at any time this can all go away. So in 2013, I instituted a series of changes to my content. First of all, I started uploading less videos. And you might say to yourself, if you look at my DSPGaming channel, holy shit, this channel has over 275 million views just on this channel alone, but it only has 150,000 subscribers. How can that be? And the answer is, before 2013, I was uploading a ridiculous amount of videos during a day. I was uploading upwards of 40, 50 videos in some cases. If it was a popular new game on release day, I would be uploading 8 hours of footage. And because of that, people said, listen, Phil, we'll watch your content when we get to it, but we're not going to subscribe because your videos literally flood our subscription boxes. So I said I'm going to reduce the amount of videos that I upload on a daily basis to try to alleviate that for people, and also, quite honestly, to give myself a little bit of a break, because one of the major complaints from my content in 2012 was that people were saying I was getting burnt out. It seemed like when I was playing games, I was just doing it just to play it, treating it more as a job rather than a hobby, and people really wanted to see me go back to my roots of enjoying the games that I'm playing. In addition to that, I made a change where I said I'm going to play multiple games at the same time, and this was a major change. Because previously it would be like, wow, new game's out, I'm playing that game all day, every day until I beat it, which is what, 3 days, a marathon of this game, then I'll move on to the next. I didn't do that in 2013. I changed that. I made it so that I'm actually playing multiple games at the same time so that you don't get burnt out on the same content. A lot of people would say, wow, well, Phil's only playing this game this week. Well, because I'm not watching his content this week. Now, at least in 2013, I gave you a choice. In addition to that, I wanted to future-proof my business in some way. And over the course of 2013, I made multiple changes that a lot of people disagreed with. I'll be honest here. A lot of people disagreed with them. But a lot of people understood them. And whenever someone makes a major sweeping change, there's always going to be fear. There's always going to be people who disagree and leave or whatever because, oh no, I fear change. I think the changes that I instituted in 2013 overall were positive, including adopting direct capture. And I'll be honest, it took a while to work out the bugs, to get audio on a mic working properly and all that. But I did get through it. And I think that overall my content's better now visually, and for the audio of the game, I think it sounds a lot better, okay? And, of course, if you're watching this on Twitch TV, major change is that I now live stream. You know, I used to always just use this digital camera. This one right here, I'll actually show you guys, because a lot of times you haven't had a chance to see it. This digital camera is the camera that I used to use to record all my footage. I would set it up on a tripod right here in front of me on my coffee table, and I would record the screen. And there's a lot of positives to that, but there's a lot of caveats to it as well. And, you know, a lot of people didn't like the fact that I took that away. But because I took this away, now I'm live on Twitch and I can do live content and interactive stuff with you guys. So those were the changes I instituted in 2013. However, with all that positivity, all those positive changes, unfortunately, in the back of my mind, there was this lingering feeling that come the end of 2013, Machinima was going to come knocking on my door again and say, hey, Phil, it's been a bad year for ad revenue despite how many views you put out and how many videos you put out and how popular your content was. Regardless of all that, ad revenue's down and you're screwed. You're gonna be making way less money. And once again, I was going to have to put all my plans on hold. It was just always back here looming in my mind. And so what I want to do right now, I'm sure you can all timestamp the video at this point when you're watching it on YouTube. I want to take this opportunity to be a man and to admit my faults and to apologize. And here's what I'm talking about. In 2013, I tried to change things up, and I succeeded. I think that the changes I made were positive. But there were a lot of times when I let negativity get to me. There were times when people would make a video about me, and instead of me ignoring it like I had in the past, all of a sudden I would start directly addressing it. And unfortunately, it led to me being negative a lot. And that's not what I'm about. Anyone who's watched my content in the past, sure, I'll be negative about the game, and I'll joke, and I'll yell and scream at the game, and I'll rage. But for me to be here and sit here in a video and talk about haters and talk about this, I'd never done that. I was the kind of person that, you know what? There's always going to be haters. If there's haters, well, you're doing something right. Ignore them. And in fact, I had this series, Ask the King, where people would constantly bring up specific haters. And I'd be like, I don't care. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's not worth my time. But in 2013, I kind of lost some of that. And the reason was I really think I let my guard down because I had this looming feeling about, wow, you're going to lose money at the end of this year. All your dreams for the future are going to be screwed over. And I allowed myself to be attacked by this stuff. And because of it, I mentioned it. And when I mentioned it, it just made more people want to do it. Because that's what happens. Oh my God, someone got mentioned in a DSP video because they made a montage of him sucking at a game. It's my turn to do it, you know? And it just completely blew up. You know what? I'll be honest, there's probably new ones today. I don't care, all right? But we're going to talk about my new philosophy in a few minutes. But I want to publicly apologize to anyone, whether you're a current fan, whether you used to be a fan, and you were just so turned off with the stuff that happened in 2013, all the negativity and stuff associated with me, and the fact that instead of me brushing it off like I should have, I let it get to me and I addressed it and I just made it worse. I want to apologize to you because I want to say something. This thing, whatever you want to call it, a career, yeah, right, a job, a presence, an entity, an internet presence, I don't know what you call what it is that I do. But I know that I have a hell of a lot of fun doing it, and I don't ever want it to go away unless I choose to move on from it, okay? But what my mindset has to be is not about the drama to my right, the bullshit to my left. This guy insulted you. This guy's a jealous douchebag. This guy's pointing out valid criticism. You should watch his video. This guy over here, Microsoft over here, Nintendo stealing people's ad revenue over here and here and here and here. That's not what I should be focusing on. I should be focused on games. That's how I started on the internet. That's how I got my popularity. I was always the guy who was oblivious to everything going around me. I lived in my own bubble, and because of that, you didn't see me being negative about shit all the time. You just saw me playing and enjoying video games. And that's what I should be fucking doing on a daily basis. And I'm sorry that I got off track in 2013. I know I did. Looking back at the shit that's happened and the shit that's going on, obviously something went wrong. And I'm at fault. Why did I lose my vision? And I really think, again, it was because that I was so worried about not being able to do this anymore and it being out of my control, that when that's all happening around you and then you got someone who's fucking being so negative about you, it got to me. So I apologize wholeheartedly and sincerely, whether you're a current viewer, you're a past viewer who became a hater because you hate my guts. I know why. And I'm sorry, because I need to focus on games and fun and entertainment and not bullshit. There's too much fun, important stuff going on in life for people to focus on bullshit. And that's what I did in 2013, and that's my bad. All right? Therefore, saying all of that, whether or not you believe me or not, being sincere, I know there's a lot of people who will never believe that I'm sincere anymore. It doesn't matter to me because I'm going to push ahead positively, and 2014 is going to be a very different year for a lot of reasons, the reasons of which I'm going to announce right now. The big change is coming in 2014, and I hope that you'll be patient with me. I hope that you'll understand why a lot of these are coming, all right? But here we go. First major change, and my first major goal for 2014 is I've got to move out of Connecticut. I did finally get word from Machinima. They're not renegotiating my contract. I'll be making the same that I did last year. In addition, this whole debacle and fiasco that just happened in December with YouTube making a new system of content ID that affects everyone, not just people who aren't partnered. And now you have to be a special verified managed partner in order to not be able to be destroyed by this system. Machinima valued me enough as a partner to go out of their way and say, we will vouch for Phil and we're going to make him a managed partner. So I'm now a managed partner. I'm making the same that I was last year. This year I'm safe, basically. Now, who said in a year everything could change? But the bottom line is I need to move. This is priority one for me in 2014. I need to get out of this condo. I need to get out of this state. It's stagnant now. There's so many ideas and things that I want to do, creative things. And I'm not just talking sitting here playing a video game. Yeah, I know people say, oh, what Phil doesn't take a lot of skill. Well, guess what? I want to do creative stuff. Remember Project 7? Remember that series? How different that was? And people loved it. I want to do that kind of stuff all the time. I can't do it living here. There's nowhere to work. There's no filming areas. If anyone saw my Christmas special for 2013, that's pretty much the extent of what I can do inside this 3-room condo, all right? So I need to get out of here. In addition, no matter where I move, as long as I don't move to like a major populated area that's like a tourist trap like LA or something like that, I'm going to be paying less money. Connecticut, for whatever reason, has incredibly high taxes and incredibly high prices, and I can do this anywhere on the planet that has internet. So I'm going to move somewhere that has good internet and great prices and lower taxes, and it's going to work out. Having more space, having a formal office to do stuff. Holy shit, I'll be able to properly play PC games and do direct capture, which I wasn't able to do in 2013. I'll be able to do a lot of new stuff that I think you guys are going to enjoy. So priority one for me is that I'm going to be trying to move out of Connecticut. But you guys need to understand that goes hand in hand with the fact that it's going to affect my content. There's going to be times when I'm working with a real estate agent. There's going to be times when I'm going to be working with a lawyer. I'm going to be doing travel out to certain locations to see homes and things, potential things that I want to do. The whole bidding process, it's a big process, and I know because I did it for this condo, and even for this condo, I skipped half the process because I personally knew the people who were selling it to me, and even that was a nightmare. So this whole process is going to be very time consuming. So I have to ask that you be patient with me in 2014. Understand that my goal is to advance in my life, and it's gonna, in the long run, help my content, but in the short term, it might negatively affect it. So, for example, oh my God, there may be a week when a game comes out that everyone wants to see, and I may not be able to play it right away, or I may not be able to play that much of it right away, because maybe I'm busy. Maybe I'm going to be on travel that week to go look at houses. Maybe I'm going to be talking to a lawyer, and I can't be here for 2 constant gaming streams or whatever during that week. And I ask that you're all patient with me, because I'm telling you, in the long run, it's going to be worth it, all right? Number 2, effective immediately, I'm going to be bringing back a series. Well, if you've been following me along this week, even though I've been on break, you'll know Cooking with the King is back. This series, people have been requesting it for years on end. And I'm going to explain to you why I brought it back. It's because, number one, people to this day still ask me for it. And when people 3 years after the fact that something was canceled, they're still asking you to bring it back, it obviously means there was something there. I'm bringing back Cooking with the King. In fact, if you're not aware of this, I made a new episode. There's a new episode of Cooking with the King live over on my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs. And it's not going to be a constant thing. It's not going to be like other series where I do 1 a week or anything like that, but probably at least once a month. I'm going to try to do a new installment where I try to make a basic meal that you can probably make in a short period of time, and I'm going to continue on with that. And by the way, it's called Poorly Cooking with the King for a reason. A lot of the times I fail, and I end up burning some of the food in that very first episode, so go check that out, okay? All right. Number 2, I am going to be starting new series in 2014. And it's not going to be just me sitting here playing a game. In fact, I already have the idea, the props, and in my head, the script for the first episode of this new ongoing series. I think that people who are both longtime fans and newcomers are going to like this series. You're especially going to like this series if you are a fan of YouTube. All right? If you use YouTube, if you upload to YouTube, if you watch YouTube, anything related to YouTube, you're going to like this series. But it's going to be different. I'm going to warn everyone. It's not going to be me playing a game or anything like that. It's something that, it's a creative idea I came up with. I think you guys are going to like it. I'm going to be working on it soon. I might even have an episode done for you by the end of January. But I'm not going to make any promises yet. It's going to be similar to stuff I've done, but a lot different. You'll see. I don't want to spoil, but a new series is coming. I'm actually right now on the fence regarding should I upload it to the King of Hate Vlogs or should I upload it to DSPGaming, and here's why. It's not a vlog. It's not me just talking to the camera. So really it doesn't fit on the vlogs channel, but I'm a little worried if I put it on DSPGaming that it might get overlooked because of the amount of gaming videos that I upload. So I've still got some questions I need to answer in that regard to the new series, but I wanted to get that out there. There's new stuff coming in 2014. It's not just the same old Phil. There's a new series coming, all right? In addition, I will be continuing on with existing series, including Ask the King, including Hate Live, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, starting at the very first episode of Hate Live in 2014, which right now is looking like it's going to be on, I believe, January, what's that? So it'll be a week, so it'll be January 16th probably. Will not be a beta. It will be Hate Live, non-beta. It's out of beta. It's the official podcast. I think I've got the bugs worked out to the point where we can say it's not a beta podcast anymore. I'm going to continue on with all the series that you know and love on the vlogging channel. I will begin to review games once new retail games are released. All right? So don't worry that, Phil's doing a new series and he brought back Cooking with the King. Does that mean he's not doing the other stuff? No. That stuff's staying, all right? It's good enough. It has an established viewer base. People like the content. I'm not going to just, take it away now. But understand that when it comes to certain things like DSP Tries It, it may not be as frequent. I know you guys haven't seen a DSP Tries It for some time now. It's because I've been busy with the holiday season and the year-end videos. But that's coming back, hopefully, by the end of January, okay? The last thing that I want to say before I get to the conclusion here, and by the way, I want to talk about a big contest coming up, is I'm debating. I'm debating in my head, seriously, bringing back Project 7. Now, I know I just said that, people, oh my God, wow, he's bringing it back. But it's not what you think. If I bring back Project 7, it will not be the Project 7 reboot where we had to respect the pack using their super high quality camcorder and their crazy video editing skills and effects. And, you know, it's not going to be that because I don't have that team anymore. Those guys moved on to other stuff. They don't even do gaming stuff anymore. And, you know, I don't have that kind of expertise. I don't have time to learn new programs and stuff to do videos with. If I bring back Project 7, I'll say this again, it's going to either be similar to the Christmas special that I just did, or it's going to be similar like the original Project 7 videos, all right? I have an idea, the original Project 7 idea, which was not what the reboot was, that I can do. And if I do it, I think it'll be good, but it's going to be different than, it won't be just a video game playthrough. It's going to be interesting. You're going to have things interacting. You're going to have cut to the guy saying something and people going back and forth. You're going to have skits and stuff going on during it. It's going to be a unique thing that I've never done before, but I don't know if people really, at this point, we're talking, what, 3-4 years later, if people are going to be interested in seeing what my original vision for Project 7 was going to be. So I'll be interested to hear what everyone's feedback is, but that's something in my head that I'm thinking about. But overall, the biggest change that you're going to see out of me and my content in 2014 is a change in my mindset. I'm no longer going to allow what anyone says about me to affect myself or my work. I'm going to ask that as of this moment that I don't care what anyone says about me. I really don't. I never have. I'm in the competitive Street Fighter community. There were a lot of people who hated me. I didn't care, and I became a tournament winner. It's not about that. It's not about if there's a common popular opinion about you. You know what I mean? I just care that I have a viewer group who are enjoying my content and are going to ignore all the drama and bullshit around everyone else. Let them all be their own drama queens and circle jerk each other. We're going to focus on the content, on the games, on being positive and having fun with video games again. And with that being said, a big announcement that I have right now, I've been mulling this over for weeks. I spoke to John Rambo about it. I spoke to the fans and viewers about it, and I've come to a conclusion. A few weeks ago, controversy happened when YouTube changed their whole content ID system, all right? And basically they started flagging every single video for content ID. The biggest offender by far is Nintendo. All Nintendo videos that anyone had ever made were flagged and claimed by Nintendo, which means you can no longer put advertisement revenue on them, all right? It was a dilemma because there's some people out there who all they do is play Nintendo games. And there's some people out there who don't have my business model, which is play multiple games and upload a ton of videos. Instead, they upload 1 to 2 videos a day. Now, what if the only videos you're uploading for the next 2 weeks are Nintendo? Well, no money for 2 weeks. It's just like not working for 2 weeks. And they're like, what am I going to do? All right? And it was a conundrum. And many people who were playing Nintendo games put their content on hold until they were to figure out what was going to happen with Nintendo. Now, I had a personal dilemma because I said, number one, do I continue to play Nintendo games, regardless of the fact that I love them? I absolutely love Nintendo games. I have massive fun when I play them. I love Zelda. I love Mario. I like Mario Kart. Smash Brothers is pretty good. You know, all these Metroid, all these Nintendo franchises, I love. And for me to say I'm not going to play those games was a big statement, and I didn't make that statement, but I said I have to think about it. And during this whole time, when I actually was in the middle of a Super Mario 3D World playthrough with John Rambo that we put on hold because we didn't know what was going to happen with this. And honestly, I had kind of a little bit of a moral dilemma. Do I continue to play Nintendo games? Now, in the meantime, when all this was happening, Machinima was nice enough before the holidays to make me a managed partner. So I could have just said, well, I'm a managed partner now, back to business as usual. But it's been nagging me in my head, all right? And I had to come to a decision on what I was going to do when it comes to Nintendo. And I can see both sides of the fence. I am incredibly pissed at Nintendo for having this attitude that because you bought their video game, that anything you ever do with that video game is their legal content. That's bullshit, and I will say that to the day I die. They don't own that content. Maybe they own a portion of it. Maybe they're responsible for some of it, but you've already paid a licensing fee for that. I don't even know if they deserve anything out of a video that someone makes of one of their games. But for them to have the balls and the audacity to basically be claiming everyone's content is ridiculous. I'm now immune from it. So I'm in a unique position. And I can say, well, is it fair? No, it's not fair that only certain people who become managed partners can now play Nintendo games and make money on the playthroughs. I think it's bullshit. It's incredible bullshit. So, for me, I've mulled this around in my head for weeks now, and I've come to a conclusion, and really it comes down to what I just said. It's not about the bullshit anymore. It's not about the drama. Yes, I have morals, but I'm not going to stand here on my soapbox and say my whole, gameplay that I choose is going to be based off of it. It's about the goddamn games. It's about playing games and having fun, and that's where I lost in 2013. Why the fuck couldn't I just play games and have fun? Why'd I have to have 400 things in the back of my mind that were all bouncing around and affecting me? No, enough. Enough is enough. Effective immediately, I am going to play Nintendo games. Fuck this bullshit. But the thing is, I feel like I'm kind of sticking it to Nintendo because I'm going to play their goddamn games and I'm going to make money doing it. And fuck them for trying to steal from people who want to fucking make creative content with Nintendo stuff. They don't have the rights to it. And this is my way of sticking it up Nintendo's fucking ass. So I am returning to Super Mario 3D World. I'm not sure when yet. I am playing Nintendo games this year, including Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart, and anything else that comes out this year. I'm gonna say it's about the games. Enough with the bullshit. I have to focus on the games and the content. Okay? Alright. So, as if all that wasn't enough of a big announcement for everyone, the final announcement that I have for everyone is this. Okay? Preparing myself for this one. As a way to give back to the viewers, the fans, the people that have been there for me all along, and even if you're a newcomer, I'm holding the biggest giveaway I've ever done. And a lot of people are just, no matter what you do, people are going to, oh, he only gives stuff away because he wants to make himself look like he's a good guy. It's absolutely ridiculous what people will say. I've been giving stuff away since I started on YouTube. This past 2 years, I did the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway where I give away games and other memorabilia during the holiday season. Starting this month, I have not determined the time frame yet, and I'm going to explain to you why in a minute. I'm doing the biggest giveaway ever. I'm going to tell you right now what that giveaway is. Prepare your anuses. I'll be right back. I'll be giving away the Ouya. No, that's not it. It's not that piece of crap. Ladies and gentlemen, dust this off a second here. This is my PlayStation 4, okay? So this is just an example, but I have a story to tell everybody, all right? And it's a funny story, and it's going to lead into good news for you. So, people in the stream chat actually thought I was going to give away the Ouya. That's pretty funny. Here's what happened this year. During the course of this year, I was planning out, and I know some people are going to say, oh, that's so romantic, Phil. Oh, yeah. I was planning out what I was going to do for my girlfriend at the end of this year for Christmas. And what I wanted to do was kind of have a long stretching plan that would kind of allude to what I was going to give her for Christmas. And it didn't work out too well. So let me explain. I just said that. If you remember correctly, early on in 2013, Watch Dogs, it was announced it was going to be a launch title for the PlayStation 4. All right? And I know well that my girlfriend likes PlayStation over Xbox. She always did. She had a PlayStation 3 before she owned an Xbox 360. In fact, she only got an Xbox 360 after we started dating. Okay? And so I said, I know if she was to choose between the two consoles, she's gonna want a PS4, all right. And I know she really wanted Watch Dogs. She'd been talking about it. She'd seen video footage of it. She's like, wow, that looks really good. That's gonna be a great launch title for the PS4. So over the course of 2013, first of all, on the first day that you were able to, I pre-ordered a PS4 on Amazon.com, and you had to pay for the whole thing up front. So it was a big investment, but I said, you know what, it's worth it. Plus, look at it this way. Worst case scenario, if something goes wrong with my PS4, I'll have a backup, all right? Even if something doesn't work out. And you know, maybe my girlfriend will end up not wanting the PS4 for Christmas. I'll still have a backup one if mine is bricked or something at launch, because we all know how these console launches go sometimes. So I pre-ordered it on Amazon.com, but I also headed over to my local GameStop, and I pre-ordered one there as well. So I had 2 on pre-order. And I fully, in my mind, expected that at the end of this year, I was going to give the PS4 to my girlfriend for Christmas. So I even went ahead and we scheduled out our year. We had a vacation in August where we went to, of all places, Chicago, the city where Watch Dogs takes place. And we went and saw, I've been to Chicago many times before, and I said, I'm going to take her to all the landmarks where I think it would be likely they would go to in Watch Dogs. So I took her to that big bean statue, and I took her to the top of the Willis Tower, and I took her to the most popular, like restaurants there, like Gaetano's, which is the place famous for deep dish pizza, and we did all this stuff. I figured, wow, this would be great. And then when she gets the game, and she sees these things in the game, she'll have this personal connection to the time that we spent together, right? So then, as the time went on and on, I was all happy. And then, of course, last thing before the fucking PS4 came out, they announced, oh, Watch Dogs is delayed until next year. And I was like, what? And it was even funny, because I said, well, maybe I can salvage it. And I even asked her, I said, well, gee, if you were to get these new consoles, what games would you want to play? And she said to me, I don't want to play any of those games. I'm going to wait till, you know, Watch Dogs and Infamous Second Son. That's when I'll be interested in PS4. I'm not interested in it now. I was like, well, son of a fucking bitch, because now I got 2 PS4s on pre-order, and it was my big plan for the whole year. What the fuck am I going to do with this PS4 now? I said, all right, but you know what? I already paid for it, right? I already paid for it at Amazon, and I knew that I wanted to do a midnight coverage of the console, and I wouldn't get it delivered at midnight from Amazon, so I still needed to pick up my one from GameStop, so I was kind of stuck. I said, well, I'm going to have one coming from Amazon, and I've got to get the one at midnight from GameStop, so I'll just get both. And I did, and it just so happens that my PS4 works perfectly, doesn't have hardware issues, so I have no need for the second PS4 right now. So I am going to hold a contest where I'm giving away a PS4. Now let me explain to everyone how this is going to work. This is going to be a unique concept because everyone can enter. All right? Everyone has a chance to win the PS4. It is going to involve my website, thekingofhate.com. It is also going to relate to my Twitch TV streaming channel, which is Darkside Phil. All right, so let me explain. As of this week, I'm going to be setting up web hosting, or at least attempting to, because I'll admit I'm an internet newbie. I'm going to be attempting to set up web hosting, and I'm going to purchase thekingofhate.com from the current site owner, who is Teo. All right, Teo is a person who at one point, I guess, was a fan. I don't know, because I never really even talked to the guy. He's been an absentee owner of the site. And honestly, things just haven't worked out. There have been times when I wanted to do stuff with the site. I wasn't able to because I don't own it. We've had times when the site was down and he was the only person who could get it and no one could get in contact with him. There was a falling out with his partner, Chris, where Chris now hates my guts and all he does is make fucking stupid negative comments about me on the internet because he has no life. So there's just all this negativity associated with this. And I said, I gotta own this. I have to own this site. Because I'm running contests now. I'd love to do more interactivity with it. But when I don't own it, I don't feel like I can have the authority to put my foot down and say, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I want to do with it. Within the next couple weeks, I will own thekingofhate.com. Okay? Once I do, this contest, the great PS4 giveaway will begin. Here's how it's going to work. And I will fully explain this again when this is set up. All right? Once I own the website, I'm going to be setting up a thread where you can post. When you post in that thread, you are entered into the contest. You may only post once in that thread. If we catch you posting more than once, you will be permanently banned from the website for trying to abuse the rules and get more chances to win the PS4. You may not enter on multiple accounts. I know people who, oh, I'll make 20 accounts and I'll post up 20 different entries under 20 different names. No, sorry. We can see your IP, so we can easily run for matching IPs in the thread and find those people and have you banned from the website as well. So basically it works exactly like my Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. You register for the site, you post in the thread, you're entered. All right? Now, as a special way for me to give back to the people who have supported me on Twitch TV over the past year, I'm doing something special for my people who are paid subscribers to my Twitch TV channel. I have over 100 of them right now. At least I did before I went on break. I haven't checked. So for those paid subscribers, all you need to do to enter this contest is to be a paid subscriber. So I will ask you right now, once that thread goes live on the forums, if you are a paid subscriber on Twitch, do not post in that because that would be double dipping. All right? Let me give you some example of how incredible of an advantage you have if you are a Twitch TV subscriber, all right? Right now I have maybe 120 of them, if I have that many anymore. I don't know. A lot of them probably didn't renew. Who knows? I haven't checked recently, all right? Versus the people who are going to enter on the website, I would probably say is going to be several hundred, if not 1,000 or more. When people see something for free, they usually jump, especially when it's something good. A lot of people probably didn't get the PS4 for Christmas. Maybe a lot of people just don't have opportunity to get it for a while, and they want to enter and see if they can win it, all right? So think about that. Thousands of people entering on the website, probably only a couple hundred people who are paid subscribers. I'm going to use a random number generator once the entries have been accepted, and I decide whenever the end date is of the contest, to pick one winner from the website and one winner from my paid subscribers. So thousands of people entering versus only 100 or so. Your chances are obviously incredibly better if you're a paid subscriber. This is my way of giving back to those people. Then out of those two, we're going to flip a coin, ladies and gentlemen, live. And whoever wins the coin flip will be the owner of a brand new PS4. Not mine, that is open, but one that I have over in a box and all packaged up. It's ready to go. All right? That's how the contest is going to work. Completely fair. Everyone has a shot. You don't have to pay to enter. You know, I'm giving back to the people who have supported me on Twitch TV, which was a huge help. And I think it's going to be great. Okay? So, excuse me. That's going to be the contest coming up. Not yet, but very shortly. So stay tuned to the King of Hate vlog. Stay tuned to my Twitter account. That's where you're going to find out information on that contest. And, of course, I'll probably even post something initially on DSPGaming so you guys are in the know when it goes live. But I need to purchase the website first. So, an overwhelmingly great year coming up. I'm going to be working to move to a bigger and better place where I can do more creative content and do better stuff for the internet in general. I'm going to continue on with Cooking with the King at least once a month. I've got a new series that I'm brewing and I'll be working on and telling you about shortly. I'm going to be continuing on with all my existing series. I might bring back Project 7. I have to think about it, and I have to see if people would like to see that original series continue. I don't know if the interest has now waned or whatever. And, of course, as usual, I'll be continuing on with all the great playthroughs, reviews, and the content that I've been providing you for years. But I'm going to have a positive attitude that's about the games and not about all the bullshit around me. I don't care how many people tweet me and say, this guy said this, and this guy made a new montage, and this guy did a 25-minute fucking meat spin video to your face or something. I don't care. I'm here to make great content for you, period. I'm here to enjoy games, period. I'm going to get back into the mindset that I used to be. I'm playing games to have fun, to dick around, and to provide you with entertaining content, period. I'm not a figurehead. I'm not a political figure. I'm not someone here who's going to be worrying about what everyone else has to say. They could fucking be negative as far as they want. I don't give a fuck anymore. 2014 is moving forward positively. We got past 2013. We are working towards great things. Thank you, everyone who stuck in there and who did support me and who continues to support me. This year, I know, is going to be the best year I've ever done this. Period. Ha. Okay, then. So, thanks, everyone, for joining me for this video. I will see you for new gameplay very shortly here on DSP Gaming. If you want to see my vlogs, head over to the King of Hate vlogs. And as always, on Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP for all the latest updates. And on Twitch, daily live streaming at least once, if not twice. Multiple games, twitchtv.com/DarksidePhil. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Peace out. See you later. Oops.